What we got here is our Rek Gen mud flaps for our 24 Ram dually. We've had probably 4 chips in the paint so far since we've had the truck. We've only had about 3 months now, so we're super excited to get these put on and help prevent any more paint damage. Installation instructions. Looks like we got some hardware. This also says do not remove lubricant tape from threads. That's probably because these are all stainless nuts and bolts, and you do not want to tighten them up because stainless will gald. It will basically weld itself together. Looks like that's truck specific. Looks like we have some universal single rear wheel rec mesh installation hardware. Hardware for the front, flap to dually rec mesh bracket assembly hardware, and rear hardware. Go ahead and get everything pulled out. Gonna be for the front. Here's the rear. Look how wide and massive these things are. These look amazing. Cannot wait to get these put on. All right, then we got some brackets. All right, so that's all that's in the box. So this should be super easy. 2 brackets for the rear, 2 brackets for the front, and the flaps themselves. It looks like if we want instructions, we're gonna have to scan this QR code, or we also have a couple of diagrams here. Dually bracket mud flap assembly, bracket to flap assembly, and then rec mesh slider bracket to flap assembly. We're going to find our truck. I have a Ram 3500 19 plus. We're going to download. All right, easy peasy. Looks like it's laid out nice. So this will go on the rear right. So you want the logo pointing to the right. This will go on the rear right. So this would be opposite. You want the logo towards the center of the truck. And then we'll bring it over here. The flap is going to go under the bracket. All right, to make this a little bit easier, we're actually going to flip this over. And we got our hardware for the rear. Drop these in from the bottom. So we'll put our screw in first, our washer, and then our lock nut. All right, I'm just going to hand tighten these. I won't worry about fully tightening them until we actually get the bracket mounted to the truck. That thing is going to look amazing. All right, so now we'll move on to the front right. Get this unpackaged. All right, so on the front right, we're going to have our logo pointing to the right. So now we're up here at the front right. We're going to go ahead and remove these 2 factory screws. These are 8 millimeters. We're going to put that under the factory screw and go ahead and reinstall the bottom partially, because now this bracket is going to slide up under that screw and washer. I'm going to get the washer, a bigger washer from the front hardware kit. That's going to give us our location. And then we'll come over here. We'll add another washer to the factory screw. Put it back in that location. We got it in place. Now we'll go ahead and snug it up. And then if you'll take notice right here, the bracket is rubbing on the paint. So what we'll do is we'll take and just bend it out a little bit so it follows the same contour. Now we got the bracket mounted, we'll go back and we'll snug the mud flap to the bracket. And the reason I saved this for last is because I wanted to see how low they hung. In case I needed to trim some off, I could just pull them right back off, throw them on the table saw and cut them.
So, tell us what you did.
All right, so the 2024 Ram has this pre-drilled hole back here, but it does not have it in the front. So you got to line up your hole and drill you a new hole through here, matching up with the rear, so you'll have a third mounting hole location. Is remove the factory screws. Remove the factory screws with 8 millimeter socket. Add the bigger washers that came in the kit.
Why are you counting?
So I've already installed the left side. Got it figured out where we want to mounted exactly. That was the most time consuming part of this whole process, was just trying to get it exactly like I wanted it. So we're going to make sure they're symmetrical. And the other one goes so there. All right, same thing. We'll bend this bracket to get it off the paint, following the contour of the fender well. All right, so the bag that was supplied, labeled Ram, came with 2 bolts, several washers, and 2 nuts. And these are for this location here. We got our bolt and our washer on. Now we'll stick our washer and nut in from the back side. Just trying to line up and make sure they're symmetrical. Now we got the mud flap symmetrical with the other side. We'll go ahead and tighten up the bolt that we just added. All right, we've got that on. Make sure everything's snug. All right, that's it. All right, so we just got the rear mounted. We'll go ahead and tighten up the actual polymer flaps. So I'm fixing to grind this corner off because after we got it installed in the location we wanted, just this corner is just barely touching the muffler. I'm going to grind on this, and I'm not really worried about, you know, messing up the finish on it, the paint or anything, because we got a magnet here and the bracket is stainless. So even though I'm going to grind on it, it's not going to rust.
Okay, you got your mudflaps installed. They're beautiful, but why did you choose these particular Rek Gens?
Well, first of all, Rek Gen is a USA company, so we support locals and US made whenever we can. And then second, the quality of the material is, you know, just phenomenal. Stainless steel hardware, stainless steel powder coated brackets, and they look phenomenal. And the reviews on them were great. A lot of people recommended them to us. Yeah, these are also universal, so they'll mount up to just about any dually.
Yep, cool. They look good. Good choice, babe.